What's up, everybody? It's John from Cap City Crown. We've got our fifth and final Summer League Rewind, and it's for Keon Ellis, last year's prized undrafted free agent signing. Excluding, of course, Keegan Murray, who was clearly outstanding in his two California Classic performances, Jordan Ford and Ellis appeared to be the best overall performers for the Kings. But it was the latter's abilities that looked more translatable to the NBA level. The thing that was most pleasing about Ellis this summer was that he was often an omnipresent force. On several occasions, he would find multiple ways to be involved in a play. He'd grab a rebound and follow it up with an assist. He'd help force a stop before initiating great pace. Or he'd simply combine good defense with smart offense. He hustled his tail off, moved with a decisive intensity, and was simply flying around. This translated into plenty of offensive rebounds and extra opportunities for his team. But most notably, it turned into great defense. There was just something about the way he operated without the ball on both ends of the floor in open space. With defense in mind, Ellis may have had an ability to play center field or shortstop, or perhaps play safety or corner in football. His range and instincts were usually a prominent factor in his impact. Combine that activity and hustle with great awareness, and it's no wonder why his off-ball rotations, help, and interceptions seemed so voluminous. As seen on his highlight mid-air strip at the California Classic, which he nearly replicated against the Timberwolves, Ellis exhibited brilliant timing on his rotations from the weak side. Likewise, his help defense was a difference maker, as his efforts were hearty. And the way he could jump passing lanes and spring up for a bat away or interception really backed up the above comparison to defensive backs in football. In short, Ellis looked to have a nose for the ball. On ball, he did a good job of covering his man and getting up a good contest. Ellis's slimmer frame makes him susceptible against stronger drivers, but he nevertheless showed an ability to put in an effort that makes shots at least somewhat difficult, and without resorting to fouling. In addition to that, he displayed some disruptive ball pressure and, at times, a savvy use of hands. Offensively, Ellis shot the ball well. From three, he hit 38.5% of his attempts in 6 games played. He was often successful at converting from the corner, and he showed hints of clutch shooting by hitting a few late clock threes. When defenses went under screens, he showed he could punish them. And on the other hand, he demonstrated a little bit of a mid-range pull-up game as well. Ellis also finished at the rim. Hitting outside shots facilitates any ability to score inside, and Ellis could pump fake from the perimeter in order to convert at point-blank range or earn free throws. While he had some good execution with footwork and patience, his attempts at getting downhill were not always successful, which is due to his lack of strength and elite explosiveness. Since he's essentially a combo guard more than anything else, Ellis also showed some ability to initiate and facilitate. Actually, in regards to attacking the basket, his drives produced some good assists, whether by dump off or the kickout. Based on all of that, it seems easy to conclude Ellis had the largest two-way impact this summer. It's admittedly difficult to highlight a ton of unsatisfactory elements, especially compared to the other 4 players whose summer leagues were analyzed. Yet, he's still very clearly a guy on a two-way contract, who's currently on the outside looking in regarding any prospect of earning any NBA time, especially with his limited positional versatility. Over the previous couple of weeks, Neemias Queta was a central focus because of his pending future. The 24-year-old was not given a third two-way contract, and his summer league was not indicating the requisite improvement to be an available piece on a contending team. Keon Ellis will turn 24 in January, so it's fair to say that he could very well be reaching a critical crossroads as well, especially because he's currently on a second two-way contract and will be eligible for his third when he's 24, as was the case for Queta. Though technically, the big man was 23, just about to turn 24 when the two-way deals were given to Ellis and Slauson, not him, but that's still essentially 24 years old. However, it's also fair to say that Ellis looks far more NBA ready than Queta ever has. Still, the problem is available play time. Last season, it was unlikely that Ellis was going to make a push for play with the Sacramento team as a rookie on a two-way, and it's probably going to be more of the same barring injuries because the team is even deeper and, as noted, Ellis does lack some positional versatility. His best moments seem to come mostly in garbage time when playing with the NBA club a season ago, but in some of the more critical moments where he did play, he did not look nearly as good. 2 games in particular stood out because they occurred at a point prior to Kessler Edwards' move into the rotation, when there really was an opportunity for minutes, as Mike Brown was searching for a guy to, quote, put on the floor that can contain the dribble, end quote.
And somehow, some way, we got to figure out how we're going to be able to contain the dribble. We got to do a better job of containing the dribble because we're not going to survive again giving up 40 points in the paint and all of it being somebody off the dribble as opposed to having a old school Tim Duncan throwing in type player. That is my biggest concern right now defensively is who can I put on the floor that can contain the dribble.
One was the first of back-to-back contests against Dallas in February, and the other was the final game before the All-Star break in Phoenix. Ellis played less than a minute in that Suns game because he immediately committed a foul upon entering for a key defensive possession. He's on an upward track, sure, but the big thing for Ellis this year is capitalizing on the opportunity. He didn't do that in that Suns game, he didn't do it in other moments where he had an opportunity to last season. The opportunities this season may be sparse if they arise at all, but who knows? So it'll be key that he can demonstrate that he sure can stay ready and seamlessly step up when needed to, which may put him in a good position for next year, and perhaps another season of familiarity will help. But without getting too far ahead, Ellis can at least rest his hat on the fact that he had a very good summer league performance. It's a good sign for his development, and another productive year in Stockton should aid his evolution. Nothing is for certain though, so it'll be intriguing to see where he's at a year from now. Thanks guys for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe and let us know what you thought about Ellis's performance this summer. Who stood out to you among all the Summer League performers? Who stood out to you in a good way? Who stood out to you in a bad way? What you like? What you didn't like? What are your predictions for some of these guys? I'd love to hear your opinions. Let us know. But thanks, and until next time, take it easy.